So I've been thinking about this one thing a lot this year, like a lot. And I've been talking to David about it again and again too. And I do feel like I should talk to all of you about it because I think, for me anyway, it's so important. It has to do with like how bad we are at choosing friends and like choosing who we surround ourselves with and choosing how we act when we meet new people. So this guy told me one thing like a year and a half ago, and it's been on my mind ever since. So let me tell you about it. This was like last spring, summer, so just before my debut novel came out, and I was at this book industry event. So since my first book wasn't even out yet, I found it fascinating to talk to authors who already had a book out. And I was talking to this guy who was just about to publish his second novel. So he'd had like his first book out for, a couple of years already. And he was telling me about Goodreads and Amazon reviews. And he was like, whatever you do when your book comes out, don't read the reviews. And I was like, don't worry, I won't. I'm not like a masochist, And I haven't. Like 18 months since my book came out, and I haven't checked neither like my Goodreads nor my Amazon reviews. I'm very pleased to say. Good job of me. But anyway, this man then said that if you look at the average stars you have on there, so say for instance that your book's average rating on Goodreads is 3 stars, he told me that he would much rather that his ratings were made up of 50% 1 stars and 50% 5 stars than 100% 3 stars. You know what I mean? And when he told me that, I like squinted my eyes and looked at him closely to see if he really truly meant that, because it sounded harsh. So I was thinking that, maybe this author's first book got a lot of 1 stars. So he's just telling himself this to be okay with like many people strongly disliking his book, because surely a 1 star can't feel good. And we all know that you remember your insults like 100 times longer and harder than your compliments, right? So at that moment, like merely weeks before my own first novel was about to be published, I was feeling like, no, you know what? I'd rather just take the 100% 3 stars. Okay, so fast forward a year and a half to today. My book has been out for ages now, and although I don't read the reviews, I do see the ratings on Goodreads, and I do sometimes stumble on reviews on like Instagram or Twitter of my book. So I sort of accidentally see people's opinions of my book, even though I try not to. And I have to say, this author guy, he wasn't wrong. He was right. I would much rather take half 1 star and half 5 stars than only 3 stars. Because, and here's the shocker, to me, a 3-star review stings much harder than a 1 star. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But let me try to explain. So a 1-star review, it means that like it really truly wasn't the reader's cup of tea. They hated it. They didn't get it at all. So basically this reader is so far away from me in taste, in aesthetics, in preferences, that we have nothing in common at all. When they pick up a book, they are after something completely different than what I write. And fair enough, people are different. So it actually means that 1-star ratings are quite easy for me to disregard, because what I'm trying to do, they just don't get it. It's not for them. We're incredibly different people, and that's fine. But a 3-star, now that's more complicated. It means that the reader think the book is kind of giving them what they want, but that it failed to truly delight them. Basically, that they're a little bit disappointed, and basically that they put the book down feeling a bit meh, kind of waste of time. Now that stings more. Being meh is so much more worse than being the opposite of someone in taste and style and preferences. Do you know what I mean? Because it also means that if you're someone's 1-star, you're more likely to be someone else's 5-star. If you stand out a little, you will alienate some, but be absolutely delightful to others. But if you don't stand out in any way, if you try to be completely average and be to everyone's liking, it probably means that you will end up being a little bit meh. A big thank you to Whiskey for sponsoring this video. Whiskey is an activewear brand that brings style, comfort, and high-performance fabrics together for exercise and everyday wear. They're chic, super comfortable, and perfect for my everyday workout routine. And God, I love their colors. They focus on earth tones, so it's just they're made for my minimalist wardrobe, In fact, on their site, you can shop by color to create perfectly matched workout outfits. So I got quite a few stunning pieces from Whiskey. First up, I'm wearing their open back long sleeve crop top from the Elegant Scallop series. This collection has a scalloped edge design for sophistication and elegance. The fabric is breathable, super stretchy and moisture wicking, so combining both style and functionality. And the bra has removable push-up pads, which I always personally remove. I'm wearing this together with the high-waist Invigorate leggings in the roasted cocoa color. The crop top has an open back, and you know I love an open back, and the leggings fit perfectly. I also pair them with a varsity tennis skirt, which adds a bit of that chicness because, as you know by now, I'm like 300% more motivated to work out if I get to wear something nice. Okay, next up, the leisure half-zip sweatshirt and the matching sweat shorts that I'm wearing with a diamond cut-out mock neck bra and the high-waist Invigorate leggings in almond butter. This is going to be my go-to when I'm out for like long walks around London. And for my absolute favorite look, the twist front long sleeve crop top with a matching A-line tennis skirt and high-waist training leggings in the sunset color. Now this is my color, don't you think? And this set makes me just feel so put together for both workouts or like weekend walks with an iced coffee or beetroot smoothie wearing my nicest sunglasses, you know? So I need to say something about the comfort here. It's weird because somehow these items are both extremely soft, like the softest I've ever worn, honestly, and at the same time they give a lot of support. So if you're ready for some seriously chic and functional pieces in the softest ever fabric, check out Whiskey's full collection at the link below and use my code JennyM for a 15% discount on your order. Honestly, they have so many things to choose from, so go take a look. Huge thanks to Whiskey for actually making me look forward to my next workout, and let's get back to the video. Still, I feel like most of us, when we meet new people, or even when we see friends we know quite well, we do tend to have that extremely human feeling, the urge to be liked by, everyone. Especially in new situations, we try to like blend in and to make ourselves kind of average. And okay, if it's like, your first date at a new workplace, that's understandable because at the workplace, professionalism plays in like massively. But if you're on a date or if you're trying to meet new people to become like great friends with, I don't personally think it's the wisest decision to show your 3-star average self. I've been meeting so many new people since I was at that event with that author guy. So since then, it's been kind of like I've been on like a perpetual speed dating bench, going to events, talking to new people, DMing with people that I don't know but who I find interesting on Instagram. And this is what I've realized. If I go in trying to be 5-star Jenny, like Jenny at my most sparkling and interesting, it basically means that I have to be like very honest and show my true self and my true quirks, because without my quirks and my true personality, I can never be much more than like a meh version of myself. So going in for being my most interesting and as honest as I can be, it means that in some people's eyes, yes, I am a 5-star person, but in many other people's eyes, I will be a 1-star person, like not at all to their liking. Of course, this doesn't sound very nice, but like my thinking is that if I show someone honestly who I am, like what you see is what you get from the start, it means that most people will kind of know straight away if they like me or not. And if they don't like me when, I'm my real self, wouldn't we both be better off knowing this from the start and not like waste everyone's time? Instead of trying to like blend in by showing my average self-censored 3-star self in new situations. Because like the people who want to be my friend when I'm self-censored and guarded, they will want me to be more or less that person in our future friendship too. So here's where I'm thinking most of us have been making a huge mistake in our social lives, with both friendships and romantic relationships. That by like not coming in, showing who we are from the start, we put ourselves in relationships where we're expected to not be who we truly are later either, and where we have to like keep up a facade. Because I've come to realize that, I work such crazy hours and I have so little time for my social life that the people I do make plans to see, I want to be excited to see them. I want like the type of relationships where everyone can relax and be themselves without like worrying about representing themselves or like making a good impression. In fact, if I look at the people that I have met since I talked to that author guy a year and a half ago, the people that I've liked the most and felt most close with are usually the people who have been really straightforward and like armorless. I actually feel like if I meet someone new and quite from the start, they openly show like their flaws and quirks and even sides that like maybe are usually seen as a bit negative in a person, I tend to feel a kind of tenderness and like generosity towards those negative traits, simply because I so appreciate them showing these more unattractive human sides to me. It feels like a privilege when someone stops pretending to be someone that they're not and shows you who they are. And also I think like this tenderness comes a bit from, seeing a side or personality trait of someone that makes you think that, oh, this trait has probably caused problems for this person in the past, because it's, the kind of thing that most people would see as weird or eccentric or unattractive. So it makes me feel good whenever someone shows me that side of them without, being worried that I might judge them for it. Because it means that we have created this kind of open-minded culture between us. Do you know what I mean by this? Like, I'm not sure if all this like thinking about honesty and openness is actually one of my weird and eccentric sides that I'm now showing you like right now by making this video. Maybe I should be clear though and point out that when I say that I want, to be myself from the start, it doesn't actually mean that I want to like share private things about me from the start. I want to show my personality, but I don't want to overshare very private things early in a relationship. There's a huge, huge difference there for me. And I think that, my job has made me see that like distinction extremely clearly. Like with you and me, for example, in my videos, I'm very personal and I try to show who I am honestly and not worry too much about being, a brand or a persona, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I share my private things with you. Like, private things are for my very like small, close circle, but my personality, that's for everyone. Does that make sense at all? So now, with my second novel coming out in just a few months, and I'm already like nosing on my third novel, I'm excited and very nervous to say that I look at things quite differently from back when I was just about to come out with my debut novel. So I want 5 stars. I want to find the readers who really love my second book so much that they would buy my third, even if it was a, dishwasher manual. You know what I mean? So I want to find the people who get what I'm trying to do, who share my aesthetic and sensibilities, even if that means that I will also get more 1-star ratings because of it. It's worth it. Actually, I find it like a fun pastime of mine now. Since I'm not just like a writer, I'm a hardcore reader myself, to like go to Goodreads and look at the ratings of my favorite books. If I read something that just vibes with me on like an extreme level, that's just like, it's as if it was written just for me. I sometimes, out of curiosity, go to check the ratings on Goodreads, and it turns out that this has been like a really healthy thing for me to do, because I realized that the books that I love most in the world, usually they will have like a 3.2 to maybe 3.6 rating. And the books that I actually don't even finish simply because they're not for me, so like my 1-star books, they often have like a 3.7 to 4.3 rating. So yes, it means that my taste in books is not following the average on the platform. And when OK Days first came out, it had like a 4.4 star rating. And since then it has been like slowly coming down the more people who read it. But because I know that my own personal sweet spot is like around 3.4, strangely, I'm actually now a little bit pleased every time I tick down, because it's like, the lower my rating goes, the more similar the book is to the books that I personally really like to read. So this is what I've been trying to adapt to, everything in life really, to kind of get out of the mindset to try to please everyone, like socially, creatively, lifestyle-wise. Because I'm no longer trying to please everyone. I'm trying to be a goddamn 5-star. Not a 5-star for everyone, but someone that I would find a 5-star if I met them or like read their book or saw their home. I'm trying to please myself, and I'm trying to please David and those of you who vibrate on the same frequency with me, who share my aesthetic and sensibilities and sort of, my outlook on life. And of course, this means that I will never sell as many books and I will never get as many views or make as much money as someone who hits that mainstream sweet spot. But to me, that's fine, because like, I will sort of allow myself the luxury to just, be myself and not pretend. And that will make me happy. But okay, this is a two-way street, let's remember. So I would love to get your take. Would you rather be all 3 stars or like half 1, half 5. I totally understand the urge to be like average and blending in. We are group animals after all, and standing out in any way is often rather scary, isn't it? But you know that feeling when you do find a new friend or start dating someone who just vibrates on your frequency and who like falls for you because of your quirks, like not despite of your quirks, and who looks at like your eccentricities with generosity instead of like judgmentally. Gold, that's what those people are worth. And no one is more golden than David in this, because I'm so dead sure that it's because of his generous way of looking at me and him egging me on whenever I do show my true personality that I have the guts to like do it with strangers too, and on here too, because oh man, these platforms, Jesus, they can be really quite ungenerous and judgmental. So now I'm egging you on. Basically, like, if you ask me, just go be yourself. Some people will get it, some won't, and that's fine. Like, of this, I'm very convinced. But you know, I think this will be my final video before Christmas. So I want to say happy Christmas to those of you who celebrate, and a happy holiday if you celebrate something else around this time of year. I have saffron buns to bake and I have saffron buns to eat. So I'm signing off, and we'll see you after the 25th sometime. Thank you so much for watching today and letting me air this out. I feel really good about myself now, even though I read something mean about myself just this morning. So thank you for that, and see you very, very soon.